group. As a city council member here in Chelsea for 7 years, we looked at this budget, took a look at this year, consolidating departments, and we talked about both as a city council member and our county commissioner. We have changed our pension plans, and so we look under every tin pot and see where the monies are. And I think as a bipartisan thing, that's what we want Congress to do, is take a look and see where there's savings and where they can reach it.
We pay taxes in many forms: federal, state, social security, property, sales, on and on. When you add that all up, what do each of you think should be the maximum amount anyone should pay their resources and taxes in any given year? Yes, I mean, when you add them all up, I mean, what's fair, what's not fair? I mean, I know this is not an easy answer, but I think maybe everybody, when we add up all our taxes, how much should the various forms of government have to use on our behalf, and how much should we have for ourselves? Nobody wants to.
What do you make send it all in? Is that what we're asking?
You'd like the short form, just the 2 lines.
You know, I'm not going to speak for the state government or the local. I think that's a decision that ought to be made as locally as possible. But many of you know that I've co-sponsored 2 tax reform bills that have a different approach to them. One being the flat tax. It's basically a 10% across the board. Yes, and everybody has skin in the game at that point. It's based upon your level of income. And if you want to send more in, there's a check off, say, I'd like to send more in. You can do that. Or Bob, you can do it anyway. The other one that I strongly support, and in fact support even more so than flat tax, because as you know, the flat tax was really the way this present tax system developed. This confusing, complex, unfair tax system that is developed that has lots of deductions, exemptions, you name it, credits. I would personally support more strongly the fair tax approach. That does away with all federal taxes, including FICA, replaces it with a simple national sales tax just on first purchase goods and services. Again, it says everybody would have skin in the game, including the drug pusher. The underground economy would go away because they purchase the same things that you and I do. And then we have the opportunity to say we all are participating in the process. We all have the opportunity to expand on our service to those that have needs. We also can pay our taxes as we go, and we don't have April 15th each year to dread. We don't have the multiple tax preparers we have to pay for. And we don't have the IRS.
Gretchen, what do you think? You got a number?
No.
Tim didn't give us a number. Anybody else going to give us a number? You were kind of.
I guess I would just say that, you know, as a mayor, you have to contribute some kind of, some portion to have the infrastructure, the things that we rely on to make our country a strong and good country. And I think that's something that sometimes people, you know, say, well, I don't want to pay anything more, I don't want to pay any taxes, and well, then we wouldn't have the roads. I mean, there are so many things that we wouldn't have. So I think it's about being reasonable and have a balanced approach. That's how I behaved as a mayor in Saline. We were very cautious, and yes, I raised taxes, and yes, I lowered taxes, and I will tell you, it's definitely easier to lower taxes. And it's very difficult to raise taxes, and that's one of my concerns in Lansing, is when we lower taxes by eliminating a huge amount of money, up to almost $2 billion of business taxes. We did a huge tax shift to our seniors. We cut education. I got a tax increase by doing that. It was all below the radar because it was basically, didn't take place, a lot of it, until 2012, when we filed in 2012. So that's problematic because Personally, I don't agree that, businesses should not have to pay, and they shouldn't have to pay into the infrastructure. They use it just like we do. And I think it's sharing the burden, the tax burden across the society. I think there are different mechanisms at the state level that we don't ever talk about, and I've been asking around. I do think Proposal A isn't working. I went to Lansing really not expecting, I have a lot to learn, so I certainly wouldn't, not be an expert. But there was about 12 legislators, I believe, that were involved with Proposal A back in the early 90s, which set up how we fund schools and local government. And they, 4 different legislators in separate meetings, in separate times, said that is not working, it hasn't worked in a number of years, it needs to be addressed. I've been trying to talk about it, and there doesn't seem to be the momentum for coming together about these big sticky issues. Again, to what Congressman Walberg said, I think that we have to have a meeting in the middle on a lot of these issues, and I'm hoping that we get to that place. But I think as our economy changes, which it is changing, we need to continue to change how we generate revenue.
Tim made the argument for consumption rather than income tax. What's your thoughts?
I don't really think top of the scale, top of the price. What my approach is, both on the county level and as a personal aspect, is I think what makes America great is an equal opportunity among our citizens. And so what I try to do, or what's important in my life, is getting children an education. We talked about that. On a county level, there's some services we do that take taxpayer dollars, Meals on Wheels, that are essential. To me, there are some social programs that are essential that need to be paid for. If Bill Gates has $40 billion, I'm not sure that really helps, how much that really helps America. But what I would prefer for our defense and for our engineers of tomorrow is to take a look at how we can help build our children and our future for tomorrow.
We're going to move to a new subject, the Affordable Care Act. Some people call it Obamacare. The Affordable Care Act is in the process of implementation and in the news daily. In fact, Senator Warren isn't here tonight because the State Senate was meeting on